Actually, I used to, make my classmates laugh by reading English, words and sentences in a funny way. They have buildings, they have the infrastructure, and they want me to go and teach a class there. They want me to be the CEO in their buildings. But I said, well, no, I'm going to teach in Hanka. I mean, I could have, started American Academy in Urgench as well because I had offers. Back in the day when I used to tell students to do something, they used to do it, like most of them. But today they know, they listen, they say, yes, I got it. But then they say, teacher, I haven't been doing it, right? If there's a girl in your class that's better than you, it should upset you, like on a very, very deep level.
If you could completely redesign the IELTS exam, what would you change?
Well, I think it's perfect, to be honest. Probably I would change task one. Like I would eliminate it. We don't need task one. I'm not sure. I guess I would probably be a journalist or something because I like doing that. I mean, I like talking to people. I like talking. But I guess they found a way to rectify it, so no problems.
I mean, there are a lot of AI, so they can use any of them.
Sure, yeah, I mean, so it's working. I mean, I'm like very careful, doubly careful now. Great, shall we start?
I mean, like, it's, it's you,
Getting a little bit excited, right? Yeah. It's not Sitara, Hassan Bhai. Yeah, okay, I get it. It's okay, it's okay. I'm interested in you guys, yeah.
So,
sure, I mean, you decide.
So, 3, 2, 1, the fight.
How do I look? Do I look great? Okay.
So,
don't cut this part, okay?
başlandı mı?
Yeah.
So, it's podcast, guys, with Agabek Rozmet finally, and it's a big surprise for our community, honestly speaking, because he's the first guy to introduce IELTS to our Hanka. So, how are you feeling today? Especially, did you expect to be on a podcast with your former student one day?
Well, I'm feeling pretty tired, to be honest. I gave 2 classes back to back. But in terms of the podcast, I'm very excited because, again, I always like talking to people like you. I mean, like young people with a lot of goals and stuff. So yeah, I'm very excited to be here and thanks for having me.
Yeah. I didn't expect you to come. For example, you're a very famous and popular person, so that's why honestly.
Come on, no, I'm not very famous, I guess, yeah.
But honestly speaking, you're one of the best teachers, like, and especially Horizon.
Glad to hear that. Yeah. Glad to hear that, yeah.
So, can you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself?
Well, I guess I should be looking at this camera, right?
Yeah.
So I'm Agabek Rozmetov, as most of you know, and I've been teaching English since 2018, and I studied at 3 universities like URSU, National University of Uzbekistan. URSU stands for Urgench State University, and finally I did my master's in Tashkent in Jahan Tillere, let's put it that way, so that everybody can get it instantly. And I started teaching in 2018, but I got into IELTS in 2021. I mean, I already had IELTS, but I didn't teach, classes. But I started my first ever class in 2021 with like 25 to 30 teachers from Hanka. So that's a surprise. Like a lot of people didn't know that. So my first ever IELTS class was a class of teachers, like English teachers from Hanka, and I was, honored and lucky to work with them because they're all, amazing people. Some of them we still keep in touch with today. So yeah, that's me. I took the test twice. In 2019, I got 7 in my first attempt, and second time I took it 2 years ago and ended up getting 8.5, which is a great score. But I was very, very close to band 9, so I was a little bit disappointed about that, but I guess there was room for improvement. There still is. So this year I'm going to renew my score, so stay tuned. I might get a higher score.
Yeah.
I want to get a higher score.
We're going to wait for 9.
Sure, yeah. Man. There should be somebody from Hanka with a band 9.
So, okay. I mean, I just start with your English, like English career first. So, how did you first discover your passion for English? And for example, what was your life like before teaching also?
Well, yeah. In terms of English, I really didn't study it at school because as to we studied German. Like German was the language. But before we graduated, we started having English lessons as well, but only like from time to time. I guess every 2 weeks we had one English class, so it was like very rare. But I loved it. I used to make my classmates laugh by reading English words and sentences in a funny way. I mean, I never knew that I would be an English teacher in the future, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to you know uh, make people laugh, like my classmates. And then I went to college, and in college we had English lessons, but that's not where I discovered it. I guess I wanted to become an economist at the beginning. I mean, not me, my parents. But then I changed course because I was like, when I started taking English more seriously, uh, I you know I discovered, I realized that it is something that I need to be pursuing in life. And I worked with a lot of teachers. I mean, a lot of teachers helped me in my path. So first of all, I want to thank Uktam teacher,
Yeah.
may he rest in peace, who used to work here in your school. Such a great teacher, but I mean, more than a teacher, he was a great person about everything. So I believe he was almost everybody's teacher in Hanka, right? In all of Hanka.
He was teacher of my dads too.
Yeah, sure. You see, like he was a pretty big deal. Again, may he rest in peace. He taught us a lot about English and also humanity and being a decent person. And then I went to Gymnasia teachers lessons, who I believe works here. I'm not sure if she still does.
She left, I guess.
Yeah, but she used to work here. So Gymnasia teacher was the teacher who probably made the biggest impact on me back in the day, because she always believed in me. I remember times when she didn't used to check my homework. Like she used to ask everybody, like my classmates, if they did theirs. But when it came to me, she never asked. Like she never asked if I did my homework, because she believed that I would. So that kind of put me under a lot of pressure, but also made me work harder on myself. And and after Gymnasium teacher, I went to university. And again, there a lot of teachers influenced me, and here I am. And in terms of teaching, I guess it was Stanislav Boyka. He taught us a class, and I mean, I used to think teaching is a boring job, was a boring job, but then Boyka gave us a class, and he taught in a way that, like, he taught English in a way that it was useful, not only inside the classroom, but outside the classroom. So that's when I started thinking about teaching, and then I gave a couple of classes, and I'm like, man, I enjoy it. I love it. So that's how I got into it.
I mean, have you ever thought about getting into some foreign country universities after that?
Sure, yeah. I did apply to foreign universities, 3 universities in Germany, but it was in 2020, so things were pretty messed up. Okay, and on top of that, I guess, look at this. I mean, the reason why a lot of people want to go abroad is because they, want to feel this, international atmosphere. They want to live in a place where things are different from their culture, from their background. So in my case, I was already, sick and tired of that, because I was a guide, I was a volunteer guide, and I talked with a lot of native speakers and people from other countries. So I didn't have that need. So I didn't take it very seriously, like studying abroad thing. But when I had a week to apply, like a week before the deadline, I started, collecting my documents. But it wasn't obviously enough, I guess, because I got a letter saying that Uzbekistan needs me. So, so I mean, it wasn't like that. Obviously, they said my application was not accepted. I wasn't accepted to universities. But they said, Ogabeg, do apply next year, right? Like that was the letter. But I never applied, because I then got into masters, and after masters I started working. American Academy I founded, so there was no reason to go abroad.
Really, weird to go to, German? For example, you know English very well, but you didn't apply to USA universities. I mean,
Well, let me explain. First of all, USA doesn't need people who teach English. They have a lot of them there. And as far as I know, everybody speaks English there. And
so that's why.
yeah. And if you apply to other fields, like other majors, for example, you can obviously, but there is little to no chance that you can win a scholarship. And considering I didn't have a lot of money or any money, I decided that I need to win a scholarship. And the scholarship was that. There's a scholarship like that Germany gives you if you want to apply to German universities. So I wanted to win that scholarship. Actually, I got a friend called Ozabek Azadov who did win that scholarship. We applied together. He was from the Faculty of Economics and I was from the Faculty of Linguistics. So he did apply and he did win it. And he spent like 4 years in Germany. Now he's in Abu Dhabi working as a computer guy.
That's cool.
Yeah. So the thing is, he won the scholarship, but I didn't. But I guess the reason why he won and I didn't is because, again, the same reason. So just like America, Germany doesn't need people who only speak English, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I should have had something else.
For example, French, Japanese.
Yeah. No. It's not about languages. Like, for example, Germany or like any country where English is spoken by most of the people needs somebody who is good at one thing, like economics or biology or, I don't know, zoology. And then they should be able to speak English because they can contribute to something. But in terms of English, I guess there are a lot of English teachers there. Actually, teachers from Germany come to Uzbekistan. So that tells you how much demand there is for English teachers in Germany. So they don't need a lot of teachers, but they do need people, economics majors who speak English. They, I mean, are, in high demand, right?
But still, you find out, your way in Hanka too, and if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't got, like band 7, honestly.
Sure. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear
if
that.
it wasn't actually was for you, I would have never gotten band 7, especially in my 8th grade, honestly speaking. For example, commuting to Urgench is very hard these days, especially there are a lot of cars in there, so there might be some crash, like big accidents in there. I might have died, honestly speaking, if I...
No. I mean, but I get it. I understand. Like, there's a lot of hassle, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, people who are watching, they should understand. The reason why I founded American Academy in Hanka is because I wanted to solve those problems. To be honest, I got a lot of offers from teachers at university, like professors. They have buildings, they have the infrastructure, and they want me to go and teach a class there. They want me to be the CEO in their buildings. But I said, well, no, I'm going to teach in Hanka. I could have, started American Academy in Urgench as well because I had offers, but I rejected them. And there's a simple reason. People ask me, for example, even today, my students from Urgench, I also work at university, they tell me, teacher, why don't you start a center in Urgench? Why don't you relocate American Academy to Urgench? We would happily go. And I say, well, that's against our principles because the first reason, the first couple of reasons why I started American Academy in Hanka was because I want to solve the commuting problem. Because again, it's not about getting into accidents. Hopefully you won't get into any in the future. It's more about the time you waste, right?
Yeah.
So it takes like 40 minutes, I guess 80 minutes, right? Of a long commute for you to go to your course and come back. And I believe along the way, you also need to take a couple of taxis and whatever. So first, it's time saving if you study at American Academy. And second, you're gonna save money because you don't have to pay for buses, taxis, and anything. And third, you're gonna preserve your energy for studying, right? For example, instead of spending 100 minutes on the road, getting stressed, especially in the summer months, you can read a book, for example. You can exercise. You can, do your homework or watch a movie, whatever. So it's time efficient. It is cost effective, right? Like studying in American Academy. And on top of that, we also offer the same thing, like the same courses, if not better. Because look at this. Whenever I compare my classes to other people's, I usually don't use classes in Khorazm as a benchmark. I use classes in Tashkent, right? In Tashkent, you have, for example, Isab Merakhmedov, who I know, and we talk. And there are other instructors, for example. I see how they teach a class, what they are giving to their students, and I buy their courses, and I see what I'm doing and what they are doing, and then compare. Like I do this because I want to be sure that what I'm giving to my students is the best, right? Like they are getting something that people in Kharazm or Tashkent are getting. Like they are not like lagging behind anybody. They're not left behind. So again, a lot of benefits to study in American Academy. Yeah.
It's like you want to make the Hanka like central IELTS thing like that.
Kind of thing, yeah. Like I don't want it to be any less than Tashkent, if you know what I mean. In terms of lessons, in terms of buildings, I mean, I cannot do this to be honest because I need investors. I am my own investor. Like nobody has given me money at all so far, right? I'm building whatever I'm building myself. But Tashkent, like education centers in Tashkent, even in Urgench, for example, they have investors or they have the government, you know, as a backup. Yeah, they give money like billions. I'm not talking about millions, billions of money is needed. But I'm spending my billions at American Academy.
So yeah. I mean, honestly speaking, I also compare our school and our situation, or you know, like opportunities we are getting to Westminster. Let's say, you know, like we youth. So I always compare them because they have more opportunities. I want to make their opportunities like in our school. For example, that's why I opened this podcast thing. Especially first,
they have it like you know?
So why don't we have it, you know, like, and I thought about, you know, getting into some top 100 universities, especially top 10, Harvard, Stanford, especially Stanford, and then I'm thinking maybe I could, you know, like arrange some TEDx events with the name of our school, then some moons if we can afford it to, after I start making money with IT, you know.
Sure, yeah.
That's
big plans.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's really cool, honestly speaking. So,
sure, I agree.
So, was there a moment when you thought, this is why I teach IELTS, this is my purpose? For example, there are a lot of more than 100 pupils for getting 7+, I guess, in American Academy, for example. I'm one of them. I'm proud to be one of them, honestly speaking.
Oh yeah, to be honest, I never thought, and I still don't think that IELTS is my purpose. Like, again, I may sound arrogant when I say this, but I believe if I picked another career, if I had picked another career, I would have been equally successful. Like, that's my mentality. Like, I mean, except sport, probably I was too late to pick sports. But my mind is like, my younger brother always tells me, bro, like whatever you try to do, you can learn it. Like, so that's the way I see things. So today, people see me as a teacher. So wherever I go, like my friends, I mean, especially you guys, you see me as a teacher, but I don't see myself as a teacher. I don't like labels.
You talked about that in our course, honestly speaking. Yeah. You said you want to look like a businessman or entrepreneur rather than just a teacher.
No. I mean, it's not about business as well. Like, I don't like labeling myself. If I label myself, it limits me. Yeah. Like, I'm an English teacher and that's it. No, I don't want to see myself that way. I'm an English teacher. I am doing teaching. Let's put it this way. I'm doing teaching today. I am doing business. But I can do other things. I can do, for example, MC, right? You know what MC is? No. Like people who, you know, who make sure the wedding parties or events like go in the right direction, right? Yeah. If you know what I mean. Or I can become, for example, a talk show host. Yeah. Right? I can have my own talk show, and I can be a host there. I can become a stand-up comedian, for example. I can do acting. So I mean, like teaching is one of the things that I'm doing today, and I believe I can do a lot of other things. I can do video editing. I can do IT, right? But I mean, obviously, I've been very successful in teaching, and I don't want to change course like today. But eventually, I want to learn. I want to reach all my potentials. Yeah. Like there was this guy I remember. I mean, I'm still in contact with this guy. There's a guy called Babu Rajapov. And he started IELTS. He brought IELTS to Kharazm, I guess, along with Boyka. I don't know who brought it first, but he has Band 9, Babu Rajapov, and he had Band 9 in like 2018. This is a big deal. In 2018, in Uzbekistan, there were like 2 or 3 guys. They didn't have a Band 9 when Babu Rajapov had a Band 9.
Wow.
So this guy, he started, education center, Everbest, and today he has a school, like international school, on top of the education center, and he also has an IT company, and then IT school. So his goal was, I mean, when I got to know him, he said, what is your biggest goal in life? He said, I wanted to reach all my potentials. Look at this. When you ask people a question, they say, I want to reach my potential. Like, I want to be the best IELTS teacher I can be. That's one of the potentials, right? But he said, I want to reach all my potentials, which means there is more than one potential. You don't have to become only one thing in life. You can be an IELTS teacher, you can be a writer, you can be a movie critic, you can be a talk show host, you can be MC, you can be IT specialist, you can be video maker. There are a lot of things you can be, and you should not limit yourself. Okay, so it's advice and explanation of my mentality.
So yeah, that's cool, honestly. So was there any moment that you were depressed because of teaching or because of your students or something like that? Or you wanted to just give up on teaching or learning English?
No, I mean, I wouldn't call it depression, to be honest, but I did experience low times from time to time, especially when students are not doing well, because deep down I really care about them. Like, I really want them to be successful, especially those who want to get a high score. But sometimes they eventually end up letting me down. Like, for example, I tell them what to do and they don't do it, right? Or if they do it, they don't do it consistently. And that really, pisses me off, because, I mean, once you understand how something should be done and what you should do, then you should do it, right? I mean, there shouldn't be anybody, breathing down your neck telling you that you gotta get up and do your job. But that is the case. And I think things are getting worse in some way, because back in the day, I don't know, maybe it's because I have more students compared to the speaking today, but back in the day when I used to tell students to do something, they used to do it, like most of them. But today they know, they listen, they say, yes, I got it, but then they say, teacher, I haven't been doing it. So consistency is a big problem. And whenever my students are not consistent with their study habits, that kind of pisses me off and lets me down. And I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I can, for example, go to Dubai and start like working in a hotel and eventually become, somebody with a better position, right? Better role. Or I can, for example, start IT and work as an IT guy. I can become an SMM guy, for example. I believe I can also become that. What am I doing? But then, like, it's funny, because when I start feeling that way, my students start sending their results, saying that they got their desired scores and that they are happy. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, it's okay, yeah. I mean, that's, for example, look at this. Before you sent me your result, I mean, I don't know if it happened with you, like if it happened in your case specifically, but whenever I start getting down, like more and more down, boom, like results are out, and then like I am like bombarded with messages, like messages of gratitude, messages of thanking, right? Like, thank you, teacher, for everything, blah blah blah, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm making a difference in these people's lives, so why should I complain? And then I get motivation from that, like the fact that you are getting your jobs done, and then I just go on. Yeah,
especially Sitara, honestly.
Yeah, Sitara, I mean, it was unbelievable. Yeah, Band 8.
She was the one, and she was the only girl and guy in the American Academy got the Band 8.
Yeah, first one, yeah.
First one, and I hope that I will get the second one next
year.
Yeah,
I mean, looking forward to it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in my class to ask me a question. I'm always in contact. I'm sitting with you doing a podcast, so no problems.
So, honestly, we just do podcasts to get the full contact of people we want. Like, we want to meet them, we want to interact with them, and then we want to be in their memories. So we're going to be like their friends, or they are, somebody close to them. So that's why. So now I'm, like close to Satara, Hassan Boy, and some other people. So that's cool.
Because you got to know them, right? You know them on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. That helps.
And the second thing is that when people say that their desired school score is 6 or 6.5, it upsets me, honestly speaking, because when I got band 7 with 7 in writing, my dad got upset because I couldn't get 8 because I was 8th grade. I mean, literally, it just makes some sense because, you know, I
Different
was,
expectations.
yeah. So he was,
Pissed.
you know, like, okay, you got band 7. He was like that. I mean, I was happy for myself, but he was not. So I got some.
He wasn't impressed.
Yeah, he wasn't impressed. So that kind of upset me too.
I like his attitude. I mean, I think that's what has passed on to you, like his
Yeah.
attitude, because again, as an 8th grader, a lot of people don't expect a high score, but you do, you see,
Yeah.
and you got a high score.
I expect 8, but I was lazy. I mean, I was too lazy after I got break for January.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember it? You
Yes.
remember, I guess. I got some mental issues, so my parents just told me to take some break. So I took break. Then after I come back, the pupils in our class were speaking so good, you know, like
They were better.
they're better. So I got upset. I was unmotivated. Then I worked on myself. Then I came back. For example, in April, I guess we had some general conversations with class last time. I don't think you remember that.
I
but-
remember, yeah, like we sat together and you talked about.
I mean, I wasn't speaking, honestly speaking, if you remember. But then after you talked about ego, all that stuff, you know,
then you started, yeah.
yeah, it started. It started. My, you know, like jaw started speaking. So I was happy after that. I mean, it was 3 days before my test. So especially 3 days before my speaking test. So that's why I got 6.5. But if it wasn't for you, you know, like I would have gotten 6 or 6.5. You know, you talked about my ego. You just compare me with girls. So I was mad. So I just
Sure, yeah.
started speaking.
Sure. Because I mean, I know your mentality, to be
Yeah.
honest. I mean, at this point, I've worked with a lot of students, and when I see a student, I know what they are made of, if you know what I mean. So I knew you had big goals, and I knew you weren't, you know, a regular student. And I was actually disappointed because you're not doing your best. That's why I told you, hey, what are you doing here? I mean, are you going to be beaten by these girls?
Yeah.
And I mean, look at this. Like maybe if girls are smart, they understand that it's not a very bad thing to be beaten by a guy, right? I mean, girls also beat you. For example, Sitara beat like everybody, right? If you think about it. But the point I want to make is like at the end of the day, boys are going to be responsible for a lot of things, right? And I mean, I'm not like devaluing the role girls play, but what I'm saying is boys have a bigger responsibility, right? They should be more responsible, comparatively speaking, right? I mean, it's actually boys' job to take care of girls eventually. For example, who takes care of your mom? Your dad, right? So, like, considering that, you should never let yourself be complacent, right? If there's a girl in your class that's better than you, it should upset you, like, on a very, very deep level. It used to upset me, and I made sure that nobody was better than me. When I was at university, in college, nobody was better than me. Not only girls, but also guys. Like, I made sure of that. So
I mean, I watched some videos, motivational videos of David Goggins, Andrew Tate, but Andrew Tate is like more like, he looks like an atheist. His speech sometimes makes people uncomfortable, especially if you're Muslim, but his motivational speeches are just makes me so motivated, and they make, I mean, last month, I just, you know, like I started working on some project by myself. I started learning IT, and I did it for 20 days. But that by constantly, after watching some videos of David Goggins and Andrew Tate in Instagram accidentally, and then, you know, it just kind of happened. So
I understand. Yeah, I mean, Andrew Tate is good for a short burst of motivation, but he's an opportunistic. Like he knows how to play the media. So don't believe everything he says. Okay, take what he says with a pinch of salt, which means don't believe everything he says. Use your critical thinking and your common sense. Yeah, sometimes he's right, sometimes he's not. Just like everybody. Sometimes Arabic teacher right is maybe usually Arabic teacher is right, but from time to time he's not. Right. That's the way you should look at things.
if you could completely redesign the IELTS exam, what would you change?
Well, I think it's perfect, to be honest. Probably I would change task one. Like I would eliminate it. We don't need task one, if you think about it. But other than that, every single section is very, very useful. It's like perfect exam. So the only thing I would probably remove is task one. We don't need task one because, I mean, task one is number based, like it is driven by numbers, right? And I don't think that's a very important skill, right? Describing charts and everything. And if people really want to describe charts, then they can learn it on their own once they, become a university student. But for most people, it is really not necessary.
I mean, about task one, I mean, I don't know if I just showed you my breakdown, but I got 8 from, task comprehension in task one, honestly speaking, and
Task achievement.
yeah, task achievements, and 1 for grammar, honestly. So it was, I mean, it was my potential rather than speaking after.
You liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I made sure that I just wrote over 100 mock task ones and just, I guess I wrote more than 100, honestly speaking, and I checked more than 200. I can prove that. I mean, it's on my dad's computer and it's all checked, and that's why I got higher score. And I could have gotten 7.5, like from task writing, but I couldn't because I was too lazy to study in the last 2 months before my preparation exam. So yeah, that's why.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive. Like, you got 8 for task achievement and 8 for grammar, right?
I mean, grammar is
Unbelievable.
like more like a result of my old checkings of my task two, task one. I mean,
Proofreading, you mean? Like,
yeah.
uh-huh.
And after that, I mean, I always read it them even in my school, at school while the lesson is going on, and so that helped. After that, I just checked the grammars, I found them, and then I just used them in my real.
How did you
things.
check them?
For example, I just first I read them, I read them. Then second, I just point the real very important grammars. For example, there is former and ladder.
Former, the ladder, yeah.
And after that, there is regarding, regardless. I mean, I didn't know what they meant, honestly speaking. Now I know the regarding means about, and regardless means without. So that actually helped.
I see.
I mean, there were more than 50 grammars, honestly speaking, when I checked.
Structures.
Structures, yeah. So I used probably 10 of them, so I think that's why I got 8 from grammar, honestly speaking. That's all. So,
Great.
I think I just talked about myself all the time.
No, it's okay. It's okay. The thing is, usually people struggle with task one because, especially getting an 8 for task achievement is unbelievable. I remember like once Big Samir Ahmedov came very close to band 9. He got 9 for reading, 9 for listening, 9 for speaking, but 7.5 for writing. And his task one breakdown was 5 for task achievement, 6 for coherence and cohesion, grammar and vocabulary 7. So he got 7.5 overall. If he had gotten at least 7 for task one, then his overall score would have been 8, and he would have gotten band 9 way earlier than when he got it. So that's pretty impressive. But again, you think about that, but then you start questioning things. Well, look at this. Bisaq Mahmedov, with all the experience he has, right, and with his speed and knowledge and a lot of practices he had done over the years, like band 5. I mean, that's like disrespectful. Like, who's checking that, right? I mean, who's behind it? Like,
honestly, I think they just focused on task 2 a lot, like you did. For example, you told me that you got 6 or 6.5 for task 1.
Yeah, I mean, I got 6.5 for task 1, and my task achievement task achievement was 6, and my grammar was 6. My vocabulary and coherence and cohesion was 7. But yeah, I did focus too much on my task 2. I spent like 48 to 49 minutes, and then I had like 11 minutes to write a task 1 report. And I was like just writing, like, and then like the moment I wrote the last letter, like it just like disappeared, like everything disappeared. I didn't have time to read again, check my mistakes and everything, and that's why I paid the price. But I'm very happy because first time I took the test, I got 6.5 for writing. Second time it was 8, and For task 2, I got like 9 for task response, 9 for coherence and cohesion, 9 for grammatical range and accuracy, which is very interesting because look at this. I got 9 for grammar in task 2, but 6 for the same thing in task 1. But task 1 grammar is easier than task 2 grammar if you think about it, because there isn't as much range, so you don't have to, and most of the structures are, memorized beforehand, right? You know what kind of verbs and adjectives and adverbs you're going to use, right? But in task 2, things are really a surprise, right? So that's where your real skills should be shown. But again, because I didn't do proofreading, I paid the price. Yeah. So yeah, but I'm very happy I did. I guess I made the right decision because 8 is not a bad score for writing. Yeah. I can't complain.
Impressive. It's really impressive. Especially people, especially your last advanced course pupils made jokes about getting band 8 second time, especially in writing. I saw that in your channel, and it was really, when I just came to your channel first time, I was just checking it last year, and I saw that. I was impressed. I didn't know that you guys, like band 8 in second time from writing. So it was impressive. Honestly speaking, people try, especially teachers try again and again and again, but they cannot get band 8,
Yeah, usually their journey starts like they start off with 6.5 and then 7.5 and then a couple of 8s, like 8, and then 8.5 and a couple of 8.5s, like 8.5, like 10, 15 times 8.5, and finally band 9. In my case, it was 7 and then 8.5. And hopefully this time I can, just finish the whole thing. And to be honest, I don't want to go back to IELTS again. Like once I get band 9, that will be it. I don't even need to get a band 9 to be a good teacher at this point, because again, I have a lot of students with high scores. But still, for marketing purposes as well, I guess I need to secure that score so that you can be proud of it, right? You can be saying, well, my teacher has band 9. Yeah.
Honestly speaking, you had the skills of band 9, honestly speaking. You speak naturally, especially that's the thing about it. For example, people who speak naturally should get absolutely band 9, honestly speaking. For example, I believe that you don't, translate the things in your head like others.
Yeah, I don't have to do it. The thing is, look at this. This is why. I was complaining about the fact that I got 8.5 for speaking, and people, they were like, come on, bro, you got 8.5 for speaking and you're saying you didn't do your best and you complain? What are you doing, right? But the thing is, I thought I would get a low score for vocabulary and fluency and coherence, right? So you have fluency and coherence, vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. I don't worry at all about my pronunciation because I believe it's better than most people. I've listened to people with band 9s, and they make pronunciation. I can see their mistakes, right? But I ended up getting 8 for pronunciation and 8 for grammar. Fluency and coherence, I got 9. Vocabulary, I got 9. But pronunciation and grammar, I got 8. I'm like, why? I didn't make any mistakes. Maybe, look at this. Maybe there is this thing that used to be a thing. It's not a thing anymore. So I did it with the headphones on, right? The speaking test, and it was pretty hard for me to hear myself, right? I couldn't hear myself really well. Right now, for example, I can hear myself and I can see if I'm making mistakes or not. But there, when I took the test, I couldn't. I felt like I was underwater. I can hear my voice, but it's not very clear. So maybe that's why I didn't see if I had made any mistakes in pronunciation. But when I was out of the test, I'm like, man, guys, I don't think it's gonna be band 9 this time, because my fluency and vocabulary were not, up to my standards. Yeah. But turns out I got 9 for these 2 sections, but these 2 criteria, but ended up getting 8 for grammar and pronunciation, which I really didn't expect. I could have applied for a remark, they can look at it again, and maybe I could have gotten band 9, but actually it would have made me even more disappointed, because look at this: 8.5 in listening, 9 reading, 8 writing, 9 speaking. Half a point for me. I would have needed half a point to get band 9, and that would have been really disappointing because, come on, I mean, it's bad. Brabal etmese, like you're like, okay, brabal etmedi, right? İşleşim gerek. But yarım bal etmese, I'm like, man, come on, I came very close, right? So
I mean, in class, once you just compare yourself with your older self and now, and
oh yeah,
so you just showed us, and your accent was not like now.
yeah, it was
so
different.
Maybe that's why. That's why. But now,
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
for example, you were more like your accent was more like an Uzbek, and so. But now it's actually American, so you must get band 9 this time, honestly.
Sure. No, I mean, like even when I got, 8.5 in 2023, my accent was great. Like, I mean, accent is never the problem, to be honest. But I guess my pronunciation wasn't very bad. But again, maybe I couldn't hear myself really well, so I was making mistakes. So maybe that's the case. My friend told me, today things are different. Even if with the headphones on, you can hear yourself pretty clearly. So that's not like underwater effect is no longer there. So maybe this time it will be better. I don't know. We'll see. I never take tests to get a certain score, to be honest. I want to get band 9, but in the exam, 9 is going to be the last thing I think about. I think about doing my best. And that's it.
If you weren't teaching IELTS, for example, what career would you be in right now?
I'm not sure. I guess I would probably be a journalist or something because I like doing that. I mean, I like talking to people. I like talking. Let's put it that way. And I can be a TV show host, for example. Not TV show. I don't even call it. I don't even know what to call it. For example, we have Oprah Winfrey, right? He has his own show. She has her own show, and she interviews people from all walks of life. Like she talks about. I keep saying he. I mean Oprah Winfrey. She looks like a man, but yeah, I should not be a racist. So the thing is, I guess I would have pursued a career in television. Let's put it that way: a journalist, a reporter, or a host, a TV show host, like a what do you call it? Night show?
Yeah.
Evening
Tonight
show, whatever. Tonight show, yeah.
But they work for government, I guess,
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess. I mean, even if you're a journalist, you gotta work for a government, for the government. But I'm very happy that I, don't have my boss, so to speak. I'm my own boss. Of course, I need to pay taxes. I'm responsible for the center and everything. But generally speaking, nobody's gonna tell me when I need to come to work, and how I work, and what I can wear to work. Right. So all of these things I decide myself, and nobody is in control of me. And I love that. So yeah.
So next question. I mean, we're gonna move on to some philosophical questions.
Wow.
Or maybe future questions. So about American Academy. How do you see American Academy changing in next 10 years?
Well, I don't know. I guess we'll have more branches in other parts of Khorazm as well, and maybe in Tashkent. To be honest, there's a chance that I might relocate to Tashkent. I mean, American Academy will stay here, obviously. It will run, but I may not be here. And I also see American Academy's future as a school, not merely a learning center. Okay, so in the future it might turn into a school. We'll see, like an international school or a private school, where you can study just like people studying in other international schools, with different programs from the like state schools, public schools. So yeah, I really don't know. To be honest, I don't make plans for the distant future, because look at this. My philosophy is, look at this. I mean, you said it is a philosophical question.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, future is unpredictable, right? You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if teaching will be around, right? In the next 10 years, because we have AI, right? And I might be doing something completely different, right? So I really don't make plans for the distant future. I think about the next couple of months, right? And prepare for that. And my idea is, look at this. So whatever is going to happen in the future, the world is going to need people who are smart, people who are healthy, and people who are creative, and people who are strong, right? So what does it mean? It means I gotta be reading books, I gotta be exploring my, talents, right? Seeing what kind of talents I have and developing them. And I need to be hitting the gym and getting strong, right? So I do all of those things, and if something bad is gonna happen in the future, like when push comes to shove, I can change course. Like I can, learn something new, for example. So that's what I want to work on, like my ability to learn things fast and to adapt to changes easily, because AI is coming, and I don't know. I mean, I cannot tell you what I have today. Like I have set my eyes on something in the future. I'm reading a book called Anti-Fragility by Nassim Taleb, which is a very good book. You gotta read it. And I'm gonna work on, making myself as anti-fragile as possible. So instead of fearing change and instead of fearing the future, which is unpredictable, I will thrive in it. I will grow with the uncertainty. I'll grow with the unpredictable nature of the future. So whenever something bad is going to happen, that's something that I don't expect, instead of, getting smashed, like I would actually thrive, and I would, even be better.
I mean, it's the best thing you can do for the future, honestly speaking. I mean, I also think the way you think, you are talking about, for example, I also want to adapt, and I'm thinking about a lot, jobs that I could major in. For example, I'm thinking about diplomacy, because they work for government. They don't, AI cannot take over them. For example, they cannot believe AI because there are security problems in the government. So and then I'm thinking about I mean computer science, because they make a lot of money, but there are some parts of computer science that AI is going to take over. For example, there are software engineers who make websites that AI is doing so easily these days. So I'm just also adapting like you.
I see.
For example, I'm thinking about going to gym and just be coach. For example, there are a lot of people who are going to be, going to Olympics in the internet, or they're just coaching people for 100 and 200 dollars every month. So they will make a diet for them. They will make them healthier. So that's kind of a thing I'm doing right now too, like you.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
So
I mean, it's pretty impressive that you're thinking about this at this age, because you don't have a family, you don't have any responsibilities, but you still think about the future. So we were talking about Mark Manson's book, I guess, right?
Absolutely.
So that book I read a lot of times myself, like 8 to 10 times. And because I love the book so much, I wanted to buy one for my brother. But because he doesn't speak English, I had to buy the Uzbek translation. So I brought it and I gave it to my brother. I'm like, bro, read this. It's a great book. And he wanted to read it a couple of times. And he's like, bro, I don't want to read it. It's boring. It's boring. I'm like, what do you mean it's boring? It's a great book. And then I picked up the book myself and tried it, and found out that the book was actually, how can I put this, badly translated. It was hard to understand. And the writer's style got lost along the way. Because look at this. They didn't translate the book from English to Uzbek. So somebody, or some Russian guy, translated it from English to Russian, and some Uzbek guy translated that from Russian to Uzbek. So it was like 3 languages, right? I mean, I had started translating the book myself, just for the community. But then they said, but then I saw that the book had been out. They said, bir parolikning nozik san'ati kitobi chiqdi dedi. And I'm like, man, tercüme etkenin faydası yok, right?
It sucks, yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, and then I stopped translating, but my translation was much, much better. If you don't believe me, I have both the book and my translation. You can read it and you can tell me your honest opinion. But I mean, my translation beat the other translation every single day and twice on Sundays. So
I mean, it's my list, my reading list. But now, right
Definitely
now,
worth trying.
yeah, probably in 20s, you know, a place, I guess. After a lot of books I've read, so now I'm in my fifth books.
Which book are you reading?
How to, um, by Scott Adams. The book was called How to Lose Almost Everything and Still Win Big.
Ah, I see.
It was great. It was a red book. It's really great. You can use it for mapping, for brainstorming. I mean, it's really great. I mean, you cannot think of it as like a self-help book. You can just, it's more like a fiction and self-help book.
Because I see.
He said he just talked about his experience the whole time. Like he's now, I don't know, maybe in his 60s or 70s. He just invented Dilbert comics, and it's really great book. I'm just finishing it in this week, I guess, if I can finish it after all my course. So he talked about diet, how to be, how to find happiness, and he talked about his experience. He just opened, the jobs he had taken, the business he opened. I mean, he opened more than 20 businesses, and all the jobs he had been in there. So he talked about all this. So, but he still went big because his skill, the Dilbert comics. I mean, we don't know it, but Americans know it. It's comics about the guys. I guess the TV series called Office. Yeah.
Sure. Obviously.
That's the same thing. They're the same thing, but it's in comics, but it's in TV series. So that's why.
I see.
So
great. I'll give it a try.
I mean,
I saw the book somewhere recently. Now I'm interested, so I want to read it.
Yeah. And before that, I just read the book called Almanac of Nawal Ravikant twice, and
Nawal Ravikant.
It's really
Such a great
too.
guy.
Yeah.
Such a smart
I
guy.
watched the podcast with him. One
Which
or
one?
two podcasts.
Joe Rogan or
No,
Chris Williamson?
There was guy, his friend.
Diary of a CEO?
No. It was about how to find, in his own channel.
How to make money or how to find happiness?
How to find happiness, or how to make money, how to be rich too.
How to be rich. I see. Yeah. I know.
Yeah. So they are the ones, and then I saw the Chris Williams podcast. I mean, he makes podcasts. Last week I found out he makes also podcasts, and now I want to start watching the first Alex Hormoz's podcast recently. So after that, I'm going to watch the Nawal Ravikant. I mean, it was 4 hours. I mean, it should be great, honestly speaking.
Yeah, I guess I listened to like an hour and a half, but I like the Joe Rogan version much better. So there's also Joe Rogan and Nawal Ravikant podcast. I've watched that one first because it was recorded earlier. It was like from 9 years ago. And then you can watch Chris Williamson. Yeah. I used to think that Nawal Ravikant was a boring guy, but then I watched the Joe Rogan podcast and I'm like, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. I mean, he said that the millions he's making are from his businesses, and he sees the opening businesses as his hobby. So how can you not be millionaire or billionaire by seeing the opening businesses or being entrepreneur as your hobby?
Yeah.
He talked about in his podcast, and I was surprised. Honestly, I was shocked because I've never saw any guy saying that he sees the business as their hobby. Yeah.
I mean, he's a pretty optimistic guy because look at this. Everybody you listen to, like be it Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos or even this guy, Shark guy. I don't know who you call him, but there's this Shark Tank guy. So everybody says AI is a bad thing and it's going to make people unemployed, right? People are going to lose their jobs and stop making a living, whatever. But Nawal Ravikant says AI is going to actually make life better because all the things like boring tasks are going to be done by AI. So human beings, us, we only need to do creative jobs. We just like wake up in the morning, have breakfast, think, create, right? Yeah. And I'm like, man, this guy, thank you. I mean, I was like, I felt like a lot of, burdens on my shoulders have been lifted because I mean, I got a family and I need to think about their future, right? What's going to happen? Yeah, what if I lose my job? What if I can't take care of my family? And then now Ravikant comes along and says, Angabek, don't worry, life will be better. Yeah, it will be easier. So yeah, that's why, I mean, I like the guy, but I mean, he had a lot of ideas. So give the Joe Rogan podcast a shot. Okay. I believe you'll love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, let me know. So the moment you finish watching, doesn't matter the time, like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, just let me know. Teacher, I watched it, blah, blah, blah. It was if you don't like it, say, teacher, it was a shitty podcast. I didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. Right. But if you liked it, teacher, thanks so much, impressive, whatever. Let me know because I want to hear your thoughts.
Okay. I'll absolutely
watch it today. Watch it today.
Absolutely. I mean, I respect you, so why don't you just take it as your commission?
You'll love it. Yeah.
So, absolutely. So, I mean, about AI, I mean, I saw the interview of Jensen Hua. I guess it's his name.
NVIDIA guy.
NVIDIA CEO. Yeah. He said that the people are worrying about AI because it could take over their jobs, but it cannot take over their jobs. But it just the people who use AI take over their job. So it's their mentality or their mindset. So, I mean, I don't believe it can take over, but if hackers use it, man, there will be like Terminators all the way to America, all the place, you know, like.
That'd be great, you see? Sarah Connor, right? Like, let's save Sarah Connor.
Yeah, I mean, we can see Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I mean, he's not dead. Thank God he's here.
He can protect us from terrorists. We can still send him to, pass and make all the AIs.
Jim, I guess, right? I mean, I'm really in a hurry because at 10 o'clock I gotta start football. Okay. It's 9:47. So ask me the $1 million question.
So, the thing I need to know for myself, what's your go-to song when you're in gym?
Well, it really doesn't matter, to be honest. I don't have a go-to song. There is this thing that I watch, like it's a combination of speeches given by athletes, like Khabib Nurmagomedov, Mike Tyson, and all of these,
motivational speech.
Yeah, goats, right? So to speak. It's not like motivational speech, like they are like excerpt from the press conferences they took part in, like post-fight speeches, because they don't give motivation. I've never seen Khabib giving a motivational speech, but he did talk, right, during press conferences against Conor McGregor or other people. So there's this combination of speeches by those guys. That's one I like listening to because I don't know, like maybe I want to identify with them. I'm not a world-class athlete, obviously, as you can see, but I did want to identify with them, meaning I want to feel the way they do, I want to act the way they do, and I want to replicate their behavior. I want to see part of them in me, so to speak. I want to copy the things that I can learn from them, and that's why I listen to that, and it like removes all the chatter. And when I listen to a song, it's okay. I mean, I also listen to songs, obviously, but I make sure the song is like really hardcore. I mean, you may look at me and I look like a peaceful guy, but there are a lot of demons I need to fight in my head. So when I work out, I do that. So the songs I hear, I listen to are hardcore, and if you want, I can give you like some of them, like a list. Of course, after the podcast, if you let me know on Telegram.
Okay. So last question, and if you had one message for the young generation, what would it be?
Okay, so that would be. Can I look at like?
Yeah,
should I?
Absolutely.
So guys, be endlessly curious. That would be my message. Okay, my message would be endlessly curious about things. Curious means like be interested in everything, right? Find out about AI, find out about future, find out about economics, business, money, life, psychology, everything. Be curious. I mean, never be somebody who is, complacent, meaning somebody lazy and doesn't care about anything. Be curious about everything. Ask why questions a lot, right? That's the kind of thing that people who are curious do. That's what I would want, because when you're curious, you find answers to your questions, and answers help you live a better life.
thanks for coming in, and
Great.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Great.
So we can have you after a while, maybe probably 5 or 6
No
months.
problems.
Yeah.
I'll be here.
So-
I'll be here.
So thanks for coming.
Again, guys, to me, age is just a number. I respect you guys as much as I respect somebody older than you, or as much as somebody that is older than me, right? What I respect in people is their drive, their curiosity, their discipline, their principles. And you guys, look at this again. You could be in a game club playing games right now,
Absolutely.
but you're doing a podcast, you're learning things from me and from other people. Unbelievable. So, good luck.
Thanks, teacher. So,
Okay. And Bekruz, I gotta say, oh yeah, I found my phone already. I gotta say, your speaking has come a long way. It's
Yeah.
much better than before. Like you can express your opinions pretty freely now.
so
Okay, guys, good luck.
yeah, good luck on the soccer too.